de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde hermosa 1470 AM 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo y me acompaña Michael Dutton. And we are talking about, there is a song that is called, that is of wise people to know time. And that is really,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah,
That you have to
indeed.
do the things on time. And that is a romantic song, but still applicable for these issues. Well, do you know we were talking about now all the things that are happening, and I just want you to tell people why it's so important if they are already citizens of the United States to register to vote and vote. I always tell them, do you know, if you want immigration reform, you have to select people that support
Right.
immigration
Well,
reform.
what a number of people had not factored into their lifestyle the fact that being a citizen of the United States of America comes with some responsibility,
It's some rights.
and in order to practice and enjoy your rights, you have to be a responsible citizen and engage yourself in the voting and the process, because it's, as they say, freedom is not free. I mean, there's a certain price that has to be paid, and the price for good citizenship is participation. You have to participate. If nothing else, you have to go and vote, exercise your right and your responsibility to vote. And if you're going to vote, have enough gumption about yourself to learn about the candidates and which ones are going to be best for our country. And that's the responsibility of citizenship. Now, in some places, along with that citizenship comes a requirement to serve. We used to have the draft, and we thought that service in the draft was just military. But I like the way some other countries do it as well. A certain age group, you have to serve your country in whatever manner that they need your expertise, your help, your support, your abilities and capabilities, and we don't do that right now, and we have a certain segment of our society that is kind of footloose, fancy free, and uh, not engaged in the fabric of American
It's like they don't care
government.
anymore.
Yeah, well, they're not required to.
Bueno, le estaba yo preguntando que
Yeah.
nos dijera un poco acerca de por qué es tan importante que las personas que vinieron a los Estados Unidos, que ya se convirtieron en ciudadanas, ejerzan el derecho a votar o ejerzan la obligación de votar. Y sin duda alguna, cuando uno se convierte en ciudadano americano, una de las responsabilidades que tenemos es el de salir a votar. Dice, y lo que hay que hacer es informarnos perfectamente acerca de quiénes son los candidatos para que podamos hacer la mejor elección. Yo le decía que para que tengamos una reforma migratoria sería necesario que votáramos por candidatos que apoyen la reforma migratoria. Y dice, definitivamente, y yo les quiero recordar que cuando se convierten en ciudadanos americanos, el voto es una obligación, pero también es un derecho y lo tenemos que ejercer. Y dice, eh, antes se exigía a los jóvenes, se hacía un sorteo para ver quiénes iban a servir en la militar. Dice, pero yo estoy de acuerdo en que se haga como en algunos otros países donde los jóvenes a determinada edad tienen la responsabilidad de servir al país. Y eso me gustaría que pasara aquí. Do you know what we saw in Mexico now? We have a president that is going to almost end, but he had run for president twice before, and they did a fraud, and they didn't allow him to take the position.
Mm.
They just stole the election, and that's it. And but he never gave up, and he continued persisting and persisting. And this time he won because so many people went to vote for him that there was no possibility to steal anything because it was huge the number of votes that he received. And then he's doing for people what we were expecting from other presidents.
Right.
So that is the example how things can change if you really go out and vote, because in Mexico there was a corruption so terrible. Every of elected official was there just to steal wherever they could.
Yeah.
And now with this new president, everything is changing. That's mean that if we follow the example there, we can do the same here, and then we can have somebody that we choose, that we the majority of the people choose to work in favor of the majorities, not of the selected groups. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's in, and there's, I think there's developing a groundswell of interest in the build up to this next election, and there are a number of things that will be at stake in this next election, and people will have they'll be in a position to exercise their vote and make some impact on the outcome of the election and the fabric, the structure of our government. There are a number of things that have changed uh, here recently that have been rather shocking. I mean, this whole reversal of a Supreme Court decision by some very new conservative judges that were ushered into their judgeship by political maneuvering,
Mm-hmm.
and it may come, it may even out so that we have more, hopefully more justices and more equitable representation. So, but we shall see. I'm not, I'm not
Bueno,
going to
le
predict
estaba
anything.
yo comentando a Michael cómo en México, después de dos robos de una elección, el presidente actual, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, ganó finalmente la elección. Le digo, y ganó porque salimos a votar tantísimas personas por él que fue imposible que ya pudieran manipular el voto y darle la victoria a alguien más. Ya era nuestra victoria porque así salimos a votar, y que deberíamos de seguir ese ejemplo para que podamos tener una persona aquí que trabaje por los intereses de las mayorías y no por selectos grupos. Dice, bueno, pues si esto va, en estos momentos estamos en un proceso donde estamos esperando la próxima elección y ha despertado el interés de muchas personas, entonces tenemos que estar atentos de cómo nuestro voto puede impactar la selección del futuro candidato y qué clase de país queremos para todos, ¿no? Entonces hay que ponernos las pilas y trabajar en esto. So, do you know, I think that President Biden just accomplished the signature of the debt, and everybody's talking about his age. And yesterday, like a big problem. But yesterday I hear an audio of President Reagan in which he say, "I'm not going to use age as an advantage for political purposes."
Yeah.
And you know, when you see the ages of everybody else, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because you see everybody around him is people with experience that are doing
Well,
the job really good.
age is only a factor to his opponents. The man is doing masterful things politically in terms of straightening out, evening out government in Washington, and he was able to pull off some things and stave off a steamroller uh, with this debt situation and the Congress and what was happening with McCarthy and the Speaker
Working
of
with
the
both
House.
parties for the first time after so many years. No?
Exactly. I mean, he ran on bipartisanship. He has focused on bipartisanship. He has brought back to our government bipartisanship. And the man is a stand up guy in regards to what it is he says he's going to do and what he's doing. And there are an awful lot of other people who have a lot of negative things to say about him, but that's because they're his opponents and they're trying to tear him down to make themselves look good instead of talking about what they can do better. They're just talking about him. Well, a long time ago, my grandfather told me that little people talk about other people, great people talk about ideas and concepts. And
Ah,
so,
very good.
just the level of conversation. Biden talks about improving our society, and his opponents talk about him. Come on, you don't have any more than that?
Estamos hablando
But
de...
I did want to follow up something on go ahead and translate that. I did want to follow up on something about that Ukraine situation in Russia.
ok. Bueno, estamos hablando de la próxima elección y cómo se está atacando al presidente Biden por su edad, a pesar de todos los logros que ha tenido en este corto tiempo. Y le comentaba ayer que ayer hoy estaba yo oyendo precisamente un discurso del presidente Reagan donde le decían, lo acusaban de que ya estaba muy grande, y etcétera, etcétera. Y él dijo, yo no voy a usar edad con motivos políticos. No voy a decir que esta persona es muy joven y no tiene la experiencia que yo tengo. Y efectivamente la experiencia es muy importante y el presidente Biden ha hecho muchísimas cosas como lograr que se hiciera un acuerdo para el incremento de la deuda, sí, en forma bipartisana. Y lo que Michael nos dice, él corrió bajo esa bandera, que iba a hacer que los dos partidos trabajaran juntos para el beneficio de la gente. Cuando esto se logra, se trabaja por la clase de en medio, no por los grupos de interés de un lado o del otro. Dice, claro, sus contrincantes hablan de él, de su edad, porque es lo único que tienen que decir. Porque dice, como mi abuelo decía, las personas hablan. Tell me what your grandfather say again, because I like that. Small people.
Oh, great people talk about ideas and concepts.
Las
And
personas grandiosas hablan acerca de las ideas y de los conceptos.
And little people talk about other people.
Y las pequeñas personas hablan de otras personas. Y es lo que está pasando. Los contrincantes del presidente Biden no critican sus ideas, critican su edad. Y bueno, pues cada vez estamos viendo gente de edad más avanzada en puestos importantes. We're going to take the